What if, one night, your eyes suddenly betrayed you right behind the wheel? Imagine this. You're driving home after a warm family dinner. The road is familiar. The lane markers crisp and clear. Everything feels normal. But then, headlights from an oncoming car flash straight at you. In an instant, your entire field of vision turns into a blinding sea of scattered light. White halos bloom across your sight, swallowing up every detail. The road signs blur as if covered in fog, and the lane lines vanish into a hazy glow. You squint, straining to focus, but the harder you try, the more the world dissolves into glare. Your heart races because one wrong turn could mean disaster. People often say, "Blurry vision is just aging. Wait until surgery. Then you'll be fine." But here's the harsh truth. 95% of people over 65 already show early signs of cataracts. Each day, their eyes quietly lose clarity, leaving behind growing white clouds. And that "just wait for surgery" advice? It often traps seniors in silent worry, while the light of life dims a little more each day. The cause isn't simply age. It's the relentless assault of free radicals, shifting hormones, the side effects of medication, and hidden nighttime changes, blood pressure fluctuations, disrupted circulation to the eyes. Yet few realize that the kitchen itself holds keys that can help restore clarity. In the next section, you'll discover 7 familiar fruits with extraordinary power, not just to protect your vision, but to fight back against those cloudy layers. A natural solution most doctors have never told you about. You might think apples are just ordinary fruits, sitting in every grocery store, nothing special beyond their crisp sweetness. But science says otherwise. Hidden inside that thin peel is a compound called quercetin, which acts like an invisible shield protecting the lens of your eye. As we age, proteins in the lens are prone to oxidation and start clumping together, turning vision cloudy, much like how egg whites turn opaque when cooked. Quercetin helps block this process, keeping those proteins clear and flexible, allowing your eyes to stay bright and sharp for longer. A 5-year study at Cornell tracked nearly 500 adults. Results showed that those who ate at least 1 apple a day, especially red apples with the skin, had a 27% lower risk of cataracts compared to those who rarely ate them. That number alone is enough to turn a small daily habit into a big difference for your eyesight. Remember, when your body lacks natural quercetin, your eyes may tire more easily, headlights at night may feel glaring, and it can seem like there's always a thin fog over your vision. Over time, these signs don't just cause discomfort, they speed up progression and push you closer to an expensive surgery. So how do you make the most of apples? Eat them in the morning, on an empty stomach, so the nutrients absorb better. Don't peel them. The skin holds the highest concentration of quercetin. For those with sensitive stomachs, slice the apple and pair it with oatmeal or a few almonds to reduce discomfort. Take Michael's story, for example, a 58-year-old accountant. After years of working under fluorescent lights, he noticed the numbers on his screen were starting to blur, and he even saw halos around car headlights at night. His doctor diagnosed early-stage cataracts. Instead of waiting for surgery, Michael began every morning with an organic red apple, skin and all. Within 4 months, the halos nearly disappeared. His vision became clearer, and he no longer needed to update his glasses. 1 apple a day, what seems like such a simple habit, might just be your ticket to keeping your eyes from slipping into the fog, sooner than necessary. Idea 2. Grapes. If apples are like a protective shield against oxidation, then grapes are tiny gems carrying double the power. On the surface, grapes might seem like nothing more than a sweet little dessert. But science reveals something bigger. Purple and red grapes, especially Concord varieties, hold a real treasure inside: anthocyanins and resveratrol. These two compounds work together like a double defense team, extinguishing free radicals before they can attack the lens and activating protective genes that help keep your vision clear. A large-scale study from the University of Missouri tracked more than 1,800 people over 10 years. The results were remarkable. Those who ate just half a cup of red or purple grapes daily had a 34% lower risk of cataracts compared to those who rarely ate grapes. And here's the fun part. The darker the color, the stronger the benefit deep purple grapes and Concord grapes far outperformed pale green ones. But what happens when your body runs short of these anthocyanins? Your eyes begin to tire while reading, letters blur, and you find yourself squinting more often. Left unchecked, these small signs can quickly push you into an eye clinic with surgery on the schedule. The good news, adding grapes is incredibly easy. Just a handful each day. Eat the skin and even the seeds if you can, since grape seeds contain proanthocyanidins, compounds that strengthen the tiny blood vessels feeding your lens. A simple tip: freeze your grapes and enjoy them cold. Not only does this make them more refreshing, but it also slows sugar absorption, helping prevent blood sugar spikes, a factor that can accelerate cataract progression. Take Maria's story as proof. A retired teacher at 62, she was devastated when she could no longer read her beloved detective novels. Her doctor had already set a surgery date within the year, but on her nutritionist's advice, she began adding frozen Concord grapes to her afternoon routine. 6 months later, checkups showed her cataracts hadn't just stabilized, they had slightly improved. 2 years later, Maria still reads every day without needing surgery. A handful of grapes a day, what looks like a simple snack, might actually be the key to keeping your eyes free from the fog for many years. If apples act like a defensive shield and grapes like a double guard team, then papaya brings something that surprises even many doctors: the ability to directly attack the cloudy haze already forming in the eyes. The secret lies in a natural enzyme called papain. Unlike most fruits that only prevent damage, papain can actually break down clumped proteins, the very culprits that gradually cloud the lens. Imagine it as a skilled untangler, finding the blockage and clearing it away, so light can pass through once again. A study at the Indian Institute of Medicine followed nearly 1,000 patients in the early stages of cataracts. After 6 months of eating 1 cup of ripe papaya daily, more than 40% showed significant improvement in lens clarity. That number is extraordinary, since in conventional medicine, reversal without surgical intervention is almost unheard of. When the body lacks this enzyme, the eyes start to struggle with light. Vision looks as though covered by a thin fog, and even colors may appear distorted. Left unchecked, these symptoms can quickly progress, leaving surgery as the only option. To harness papaya's full power, choose a perfectly ripe fruit, the skin a golden orange and slightly soft to the touch. Eat it in the morning on an empty stomach, so the enzyme works at its best. Don't throw away the black seeds, either they contain additional eye-protecting compounds. Just crush or grind a small spoonful and eat them together. Take Robert's story, for example, a 65-year-old photographer. When doctors diagnosed him with cataracts, especially severe in his left eye, Robert feared his photography career was over. Instead of rushing to surgery, he decided to try a natural approach, a bowl of ripe papaya with a few crushed seeds every morning. 8 months later, his doctor was astonished to see the cloudiness in his left eye reduced by 15%. Robert still takes photos today, his vision clear enough to capture every detail through the lens. A bowl of papaya each morning, what seems like a simple habit, may actually help you see the world without the foggy curtain. When it comes to vitamin C, most people immediately think of oranges as the classic symbol of health, but few realize that the lens of the eye actually contains 60 times more vitamin C than the blood. That shows just how much the body prioritizes this nutrient for vision. Vitamin C acts like a clear shield, protecting the proteins in the lens from free radical attacks. Without enough, these proteins gradually deform, creating a cloudy white layer that blocks light from passing through. But oranges offer more than vitamin C. They also contain hesperidin, a compound concentrated in the white pith that most people peel away. Hesperidin strengthens the tiny capillaries that feed the eyes, helping blood deliver oxygen and nutrients more efficiently to the lens. And there's another guardian, zeaxanthin, a carotenoid that concentrates directly in the lens, filtering harmful blue light from computer screens, phones, and LED lamps, things American seniors face every single day. A 10-year study at King's College London followed 324 pairs of twins and found that people with higher vitamin C intake from oranges slowed the progression of cataracts by up to 33%. This isn't folklore, it's solid scientific evidence. Now, imagine the body running short on vitamin C. Colors fade, whites start to take on a yellowish tint. For people in professions requiring color accuracy like designers or painters, that's a nightmare. Over time, this deficiency speeds up the journey toward the operating table. The solution is surprisingly simple. Eat 1 to 2 oranges a day. Keep the white pith, and don't rely only on orange juice, which discards the most important part. The best time is late morning, when vitamin C absorption peaks. Here's a tip. Pair oranges with a handful of almonds. The vitamin E in almonds and vitamin C in oranges combine into an unbeatable duo, protecting the lens. Take Jennifer's story as proof. At 55, this graphic designer started noticing the whites in her projects shifting to yellow, making color matching difficult. Diagnosed with early-stage cataracts, she decided to try the natural route. 2 oranges a day, eaten with the pith, plus a few almonds. 5 months later, not only had her vision improved, but her color perception returned to normal. Colleagues even said her color work became sharper and more accurate than before. An orange, what seems like just a simple snack, turns out to be the strongest light shield your eyes could ask for. In the world of fruits, kiwis may look small and often get overlooked on the grocery shelf, but don't let their modest size fool you. In fact, kiwi packs more vitamin C per gram than oranges, and what's even more impressive is that it's rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 golden pigments that concentrate directly in the lens, acting like a pair of natural sunglasses to shield the eyes from harmful blue light. A study in New Zealand followed over 400 people and found that eating just 2 kiwis a day lowered cataract risk by 36%, and for those already showing early signs, progression slowed by nearly 30%. Numbers like these make kiwi one of the most powerful fruits for protecting aging eyes. What happens when the body lacks these nutrients? You may notice your eyes becoming unusually sensitive to light. Daylight or car headlights turn into a burden, making driving or simply walking outside uncomfortable. Over time, the lens clouds faster, pushing you toward early surgery. The solution is simple. 2 golden kiwis a day. Golden kiwis contain up to 60% more vitamin C than green ones, with a naturally sweeter taste. To maximize the benefit, pair them with healthy fats, like a few slices of avocado or a small handful of nuts. That's because the carotenoids in kiwi absorb up to 3 times better when eaten with fat. And if you're adventurous, the thin skin of organic kiwi is also edible, slightly unusual in texture, but packed with extra antioxidants. Thomas, a 60-year-old pilot, is living proof. When diagnosed with early cataracts, he feared losing his flight license, and with it, his lifelong dream of the skies. Instead of waiting it out, Thomas began every morning with 2 golden kiwis alongside a quarter of an avocado. He also stayed disciplined about wearing UV protective glasses outdoors. A year later, his eye exams showed not only no progression, but also significant improvement in his ability to distinguish light contrasts. Thanks to that, Thomas kept flying, holding on to his passion. Small as it may be, kiwi carries the strength to keep your eyes resilient against the tests of time. If apples help defend, grapes act as double protection. Papaya clears the haze, oranges serve as a bright shield, and kiwis as natural sunglasses, then blueberries bring something even more remarkable: the ability to repair damage that has already occurred inside the lens. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, not just 1 or 2 types, but up to 15 different kinds. These compounds work like skilled craftsmen, restoring the structure of lens proteins that have been deformed by glycation and oxidation. Instead of only preventing, they can actually reduce existing cloudiness, allowing light to pass through more clearly. A large Japanese study followed more than 2,300 people and found that those who ate 1 cup of blueberries daily had a 38% lower risk of needing cataract surgery within 15 years. That number proves blueberries aren't just superfoods, in theory. They're a practical solution that can delay surgery for decades. When the body lacks anthocyanins, the eyes become more easily dazzled by strong light like harsh sunlight or car headlights at night. Many people describe it as looking through a dirty window, with images lacking clarity, making driving or working on small details unsafe. The fix is simple: 1 cup of blueberries daily, ideally wild blueberries, which contain twice as many anthocyanins as regular ones. Fresh is best, but frozen blueberries have an added advantage. The freezing process breaks cell walls, making nutrients easier to absorb. Divide the portion, 1/2 cup in the morning with plain yogurt, the other half at night as a light dessert. Avoid pairing them with iron-rich foods, as iron can reduce anthocyanin effectiveness. Linda, a 68-year-old painter, nearly lost hope when her doctor scheduled cataract surgery. Within 6 months, her vision grew so cloudy that she could no longer see colors clearly to paint. Instead of giving in, Linda adopted a new routine: 1 cup of wild blueberries daily, half with yogurt in the morning, half at night. She also cut back on refined sugar to reduce glycation in the lens. 18 months later, her checkups stunned the doctors. Cloudiness in her right eye dropped by 20%, and in her left by 15%. Thanks to this, Linda continues creating detailed landscape paintings, holding on to the art she has loved her entire life. A cup of blueberries, tiny, sweet, and unassuming, may be the silent craftsman that restores clarity to your eyes. If the other fruits offer prevention and improvement, then goji berries step in as the true king of lens protection. The secret lies here. No other food in the world contains more zeaxanthin than goji berries. The concentration of this golden pigment in the tiny red fruit is more than 200 times higher than in oranges, and it goes straight into the lens, forming a powerful light shield that protects against both free radicals and harmful blue light. But goji berries don't stop there. They also contain a special compound called LBP Lycium barbarum polysaccharides. This acts as a key that activates the body's own antioxidant enzymes directly inside the lens. In other words, instead of relying only on outside nutrients, your eyes gain an inner defense system built to last. A massive 20-year study in China tracked nearly 4,000 people and found that eating just 15 grams of dried goji berries daily reduced cataract risk by 52%. Even more impressive, in early-stage cases, 31% actually showed reversal. The cloudy layer in the eye began thinning, allowing light to pass through more clearly. Numbers like these are almost unheard of in nutritional research. Without this precious source, your eyes tire quickly in the sun. Harsh light makes your vision fade faster, and growing sensitivity to brightness becomes a clear red flag that your lens is clouding more rapidly than you think. The method is simple. Soak 15 grams of dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes. Then eat both the berries and the infused water. For advanced cases, studies recorded clear improvements with 30 grams daily for 3 months before reducing to 15 grams as maintenance. Always choose organic goji berries with a bright red-orange color. Avoid dull or spotted ones, as those are usually poor quality. Take David's story. At 71, this retired engineer was preparing for cataract surgery at stage 3, but he asked his doctor to delay for 3 months to try a natural approach. Every day, David soaked 30 grams of organic goji berries, ate the fruit, and drank the water while cutting out processed foods. 3 months later, the results stunned his doctor. The cloudiness in his right eye improved from stage 3 to stage 2, while his left eye gained 25% more clarity. Surgery was postponed, and 2 years later, David still keeps up this routine, his vision strong enough to teach free computer classes for seniors. A handful of red goji berries, each day small but mighty, may just be the secret to keeping your eyes free from the shadows and clear for years to come. We've just walked through a surprising journey, from the familiar red apple with its quercetin-rich peel to purple grapes loaded with resveratrol, golden papaya with its papain enzyme, and juicy oranges bursting with vitamin C. Then came the small yet mighty kiwi, wild blueberries with their protein-repairing power. And finally, the red goji berry, the king of zeaxanthin. Each fruit, though different in color and flavor, shares the same mission, keeping the lens clear, letting light pass through, and preserving bright, lasting vision. The key message is this: cataracts are not always a life sentence ending only with surgery. While surgery remains necessary in advanced cases, for most people in the early stages, the eyes can be protected and even improved through small daily choices. An apple, a handful of grapes, or a spoonful of goji berries. These seemingly simple acts can become silent gatekeepers of your sight. So, instead of leaving it all to fate, start with the simplest step. Pick 1 or 2 fruits from this list and make them part of your daily routine. After just a few months, you may notice the difference: clearer light, brighter colors, and most importantly, the confidence that you're actively preserving the clarity of your vision. Now it's your turn. Among these 7 fruits, which one will you choose to begin your journey of protecting your eyes? Share your answer and experience in the comments. Your story might just become the inspiration someone else needs.